That pimp told me I could leave anytime I wanted to because I was not physically tried. This is not Taken. And please don't tell me you've seen the movie. I've seen Taken. I haven't seen Taken 2 or 3 because the first one disgusted me. That's not the way it happens. That is not the way it happens. It happens the way it happened to me. It happens being groomed. How long do you think it was after that first night that I began using that coke? You're being raped 30 times a day? What are you going to get high on? Drugs are not the problem. They're a symptom of the problem. They're a coping mechanism. People that do drugs don't have a drug problem. It's not a drug problem. I have written substance abuse treatment programs that are still being used in Birmingham, and I don't even agree with them anymore. Because this is the truth. We all have a Jesus-shaped hole inside of us, and until we meet Jesus, true healing doesn't start to happen. I tried everything else. Trust me, I had to fix it. I had to outperform the negative that had been done. I was arrested in 1997. I told you I went to prison when I was 19, so I've been a convicted felon my entire adult life. I got some pet peeves, but we'll talk about them later. People will hire you just because you're a felon. They will if you tell them the truth. It's okay. I got arrested in 1997, and I did it the way that we're taught to do it. You pick yourself up by your bootstraps, dust yourself off, and I had to outperform and outdo and out everything, all the negative. So I began working on a bachelor's degree in social work, and I got it. And I began working on 2 master's degrees, and I was in counseling, secular counseling. I was in 12-step program, and I was in all this other self-help stuff. And I began working on 2 master's degrees, and in the middle of those 2 master's degrees, I relapsed on those drugs again, was re-exploited by another pimp in 2006 and 7. And I went to Tutwiler in 2008. That self-help stuff didn't work. Now see, my dad, I told you he was in and out of prison my entire life. I don't believe in jailhouse Christianity. I have an issue with that. This is personal. I love when people find Jesus in jail, I'm excited. But my problem was when I was growing up, my dad found Jesus in jail every single time he went there. He just left him there when he got out. And he went back to doing the same thing he was doing. So my thing is I don't care what kind of good food. If you do prison ministry, I thank you for doing it. But I didn't care how good of a food you brought. I didn't want any. Because I wasn't trying to fight. If I committed my life to Jesus at any point, and at this point in my life, there was no way I was going to do it. Because he had already failed me. I definitely wasn't going to do it in prison. So I went to prison, and I got out. The day I got out, I got high. In 2009. And I had, my resume was pretty awesome. I actually have been a child of DHR, a social worker at DHR, and a client. Yes, and I was a social worker at DHR with a felony conviction. Yes, I told them the truth. I work closely with FBI now, and they know that I've been to prison twice. FBI will actually hire convicted felons, just so you know. Sometimes we know more than they do. That's a whole nother conversation. So anyway, I got out of prison, I got high, and a few weeks later, I was just tired. I was like, Tajuan, this is not the way to live. This is not the way to live. And I called an executive director of a transitional home that I had helped write grants for, and his name's Howard. And I said, Howard, I need a bed. And he said, for who? Because I had placed a lot of girls in his home before. And I was like, me? And I said, do you have a bed available? And he said, for you, me and my wife will take you in if I don't have one. And he didn't believe me. He told me later, he's like, I didn't believe you until you actually showed up with your suitcases. And so I put myself in a transitional home that night. Well, no one would hire me because I just got out of prison, and it didn't matter that I had a degree in social work or that my resume was amazing. The other thing is that McDonald's said I was overqualified. The manager thought I wanted his job or her job, and I didn't. I just wanted a job. And I couldn't get a job, so Howard let me work in the office because his program, you had program fees that you had to pay. And he let me work there to offset them. Well, where I worked and where I lived, there was this place in the middle called the Dream Center. And I'm a networker, so if you need help or you know someone that needs services, just let me know. And I can direct you to the right people because that's one of the gifts God's given me. I know people, and now God has really blessed me that I know people nationwide. So, literally I can help people in other states and have helped people in other countries get services. And I enjoy that I like doing that. So if you need help, let me know. Anyway, so they got this place called the Dream Center, and I'm a networker. How dare you name a place the Dream Center and not put anything else on the marquee outside? So what do they do there? Joe's Tire Shop. You know what it does. You go there and get your tires fixed. Abundant Life Church. You know what they do there? They worship Jesus to abundant life. The Dream Center. What do they do there? So I finally got tired of driving by, and I stopped. And I was cute. I thought I was. And if you'd have met me then, I was a lot more blunt and a lot more rough around the edges then than I am now, which was a little scary. And I had on a suit. I was cute. I was professional. I went in, and I had a suit on, and I walked, and I had to buzz me in because it was a buzzer at the back door. And I go in, and there is this beautiful blonde sitting behind the desk that looked like Barbie. And I say, what do y'all do here? My name's Tajuan McCarty. I'm with the neighborhood house. What do y'all do here? And she starts telling me, she's got a spiel. You can kind of tell it's a spiel. Small groups, Bible studies, tutoring, all this stuff. And she starts talking about Jesus, and I'm throwing up in my mouth and thinking I gotta run because I don't want anything to do with anything that's got anything to do with Jesus. And then the very last thing she says is, I'm trying to reach the prostitutes in the area. And have someone ever told you something that every single red flag goes off inside your body and your mind, and you're going, oh my God, what are you doing? And you want to help them, or you want to protect them because you know that they're like going into territory they know nothing about. Well, that's what happened. And I went, what are you doing? And she proceeds to tell me what she's doing. And then she proceeds to tell me that 4 guys almost jerked her in a car the week before and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm thinking, oh my God. And literally this is my fault, so please forgive me. Oh, this sweet white Christian lady's about to be killed in Woodlawn. And I knew about it. No, this can't happen. I'm not prejudiced at all. Please don't think that. My children are biracial, so that was a true, authentic thought. And I said, can I give you a few suggestions how to do this if you want to reach the girls? And she said yes. And so my thought is I'm going to give her like 3 suggestions and I'm going to get the heck out. Because she was talking about Jesus. I got to go. Here's 3 things to do, 3 things not to do, now I'm gone. Well, that's not what God had planned. So I start telling her, she says, wait, can I take notes? I was like, no, you can't take notes. I'm not going to be here long enough for you to write anything down. I got to get out of here. And I said, has your mouth ever overrode your brain? That stuff comes out and you think about it and go, ooh, where'd that come from? Even though So I said, yes, you can take notes. And she grabs a pen and a pad of paper, and we sit down. And 2 hours later, she looks at me and she says, so sweetly, how do you know all this? And I'm not going to tell you the 4 little words that was going through my mind, but there were a few. And I'm like, I'm not going to tell this lady how I know this. And before I could even finish the thought, I said, I used to walk these streets. And she looks at me, she says, will you help me? And my head is screaming, no! And my mouth says, yes. So here I am about to do ministry, and I don't even like Jesus. I told you he tricked me. Well, what happened is he did trick me. If you listen to if you're from the area and you listen to 93.7, her name is Roxanne. Roxanne and Chris, and she led me to Christ. But the way she led me to Christ is the way we're supposed to lead others to Christ, through love and grace. Because boundaries, tough love, guilt, shame, condemnation has never healed anyone. The only healing comes from love and grace. If you want to go into the Bible and people go, well, I need to set some boundaries, and I get that, but no. How many times has God given you grace? How many times did you not deserve it? Every single one. But Jesus came and fulfilled the law, and he tore the veil in half. And he said, you can come to me now. You don't have to go through a priest anymore. You don't have to go through all these things. I am grace. And it's your responsibility to show my grace to others. And that's what Roxanne's name is Lisa. I don't know her as Roxanne. Roxanne is her media name. And Lisa loved me to Christ. See, when I met her, I was in a homosexual relationship. I smoked more then than I do now, and I said a few more cuss words then than I do now. Actually, if you see the car out there with a decal on the back that says, I love Jesus, but I cuss a little, that's mine. He still loves me, I'm good. You know, and you too? Yeah. You too back there? It's okay, he loves you. I'm glad I got a me too in here. I love Jesus, but I cuss a little. She loved me to Christ. But what happened was Jesus tricked me again. Because see, I have been in situations like every girl out there on the streets at 2 o'clock in the morning when I wanted another fix, or the pimp was gone and I wanted to get out, or I wanted to die. There was no help. There was no help. And so I knew there would come a day there would be a girl we couldn't help, and they're dead. And so Well House, God gave me the vision. It's completely different. We never charge the ladies anything, ever. Ever. She is not charged anything. And we pay for everything. We pay for prescription medication. We pay for GEDs. We pay for college entrance. We pay for CDL license if they want to go to school. We pay for it. We pay for it. Because I didn't want her to feel re-exploited by another program. She don't have to be clean to come to us. Because I told you I wrote 2 substance abuse treatment programs I don't even believe in, because what's the first thing a drug treatment center wants you to be? And then if you get high while you're there, what do they do? Yeah. I'm sorry, but they're recycling. Is all they're doing. I don't agree with it. And we've got some great centers, and I love them and support them all, but this is what God called me. And so we provide everything she needs. If your house burnt down, what would you need? That's what she gets when she walks in the door. And we don't give trial size out. We do on the streets, but we don't at our houses. Why? What does trial size say? You're temporary. She's not temporary. I don't care if she only stays 5 minutes. She's not temporary. And I do use Suave shampoo and conditioner when it's the end of the month and I'm broke. Other than that, I'm going to buy me some Bath and Body Works. She likes it too. She deserves to be treated as a princess. I do not want your used bras and panties. She don't either. Y'all don't want my used bras and panties too. I don't care how cute they might be on me. You don't want them. Good. If you're gently used clothes, you want to bring them to us. This is my thing. If you won't wear them, I don't want them. It's okay that I don't like it anymore, but I would still wear it. Yes, I will bring it and donate it. If it's a rag, please wipe your mirrors or something off with it, throw it away. I don't need it. And we don't have time to go through it. You know, for 2.5 years, I did what all of our employees are doing now by myself, and I'm not bragging. I did it crazy because I said yes. I said, send me, and he did. I did not realize what he was sending me to, and I think if he would have told me then, I would have been Jonah again, and you know, what did God tell Jonah? Go to Nineveh. And he didn't. He went the other direction. And then a whale swallowed him up, and in the belly of the whale, what did he say? Pretty much his prayer was, okay, Lord. I mean, can you imagine that would be my prayer? I don't know that I would have any other words in the belly of the whale going, okay. And then what happened? He became whale vomit. And he said, okay, Lord, what do you want me to do? And what did the Lord say? Go to Nineveh. He didn't change his mind. It's the same thing. So I have been whale vomit a couple of times, but I kind of learned early not to be, just to say yes, send me. And you want to talk about attacks when you say, Laura, I completely and totally relate. So recently, I'm going to share this with you. I got 2 more things I want to share, and then I got something I want to read to you. I was at a military base, and I was speaking about trafficking in my story, and I talked about Jesus at a military base. Evidently, somebody in the audience didn't like it. Washington, D.C. called me a week later. 4 articles have been done on me in the military.com and Army Times and some couple other newspapers. And this group of attorneys called me and said, you're being attacked. And I was like, I am. And it's pretty big, and we've got to do something because it's